Hello, cool people. Slicky Campbell here, and today I have some unfortunate news to bring to you. TikTok could possibly be banned in the United States. Right now, on January 12th, on this cold Sunday, there's probably about a 50% chance it gets banned. It's really up in the air at this point. There's been some back and forth with lawyers and Supreme Court. There possibly could be an extension. But what this does, it gives us a
hypothetical situation.
And since I'm genuinely crazy, I love talking about hypothetical situations and how they could possibly affect us. But yeah, today we're going to talk about a world without TikTok and how that affects the music industry going on and how it's going to change it for better or worse. We're going to talk about concerts, streaming services, fan bases, TikTok artists, TikTok music, and everything under the sun and how that affects the music industry ecosystem. So get your favorite snack, come along for a ride, and enjoy this masterclass I'm about to put on. So we have to talk about the origins of TikTok first. TikTok was first derived from Musically. Musically was an app where probably people in their early 20s now or early mid 20s, like 7 years ago, were trying to do to become the next Musically star. A lot of these Musically people were popular on YouTube. It seemed a quick way to get famous. I know a couple of these kids were on Good Morning America.
Correct. Okay.
And once the Musically trend started to fade out, TikTok arose. I think TikTok bought Musically. I could be mistaken on that, but they bought Musically and they implemented this feature called a sound. And the sound was really interesting because it was an MP3 format file that you could overlay over a video that you recorded. You could be lip syncing a person talking, you could be lip syncing a song, you could lip sync another video that someone else posted on TikTok, and it showed it right there at the bottom right corner of your screen. So it was just citing what that sound was. And record labels and streaming services saw this and they hopped on it like crack in the 90s. I remember the first big trend of an artist like really becoming popular over this was Driver License by Olivia Rodrigo. You have Sabrina Carpenter, who's another pop artist who got popular with a lot of sounds. You have Ice Spice, who is notoriously known. There's probably hundreds of video essays about the downfall of Ice Spice. And there's also Tommy Richmond, probably 20 more people I don't even know that you all know because they're in your niche and it's catered to you and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, these people like Ice Spice, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Tommy Richmond, they got popular really fast and they had a lot of expectations put onto them. And this is something we haven't really seen. Like, we haven't seen this trajectory in an artist before where they get a song and they blow up so fast and they have all this attention surrounding them that they're getting invited to the Met Gala. They're getting invited to crazy, crazy places. They're put on this high pedestal already. And in the cases of Tommy Richmond and Ice Spice, they've seemed to be set up for failure. And what I mean by this is that they have this one hit and they have this one style of song. And the record label's probably like, we need to do this more, do this more, do this more. It's getting millions of views. They do it more, it gets played out, the fans don't like it, and then they get put into obscurity, which is really no fault to them. It's more fault to the record labels just wanting a quick buck, and it's like, okay, girl, sorry, you're out. But that's what TikTok did. It was so fast. People are swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping so fast that they forget about these trends within 2 months. And that's the phrase TikTok artist comes about. You have these artists that get a hit sound. It gets used over, 400,000 times, 200,000 times on posts and all this stuff. So all these people are seeing it. It gets stuck in your head. It gets streamed. It gets put on playlists. It's this whole pipeline. And with TikTok being banned anymore, I mean, you have Instagram Reels that has like a sound feature now where you could get you can see what song is playing, but you're not going to have these like massive, massive one hit wonders. Like when Ice Spice came out, she was the next big thing. Like you had like artists before that, like, were propelled into, stardom with like a good album and a couple songs or something like that. Like these one hit wonders were nothing like we've ever seen before. And it even got to the point where, like, I mean, my mom, she's like a baby boomer, but she has Sirius Radio, and there's a whole radio station dedicated to TikTok music. That is crazy to me. Like, and there's playlists on Spotify that just have TikTok music. So there's this whole almost new genre of music. It's not, alt rap or It's not a hip hop or pop, it's just TikTok music. So we know what TikTok music is. It's this short, very catchy stuff that gets artists catapulted. TikTok artists are artists that, make these songs and they get catapulted and could possibly do really, really well or get put into the dark corner of the music industry. But now we have to talk about us, the consumers, and how we are affected by this TikTok ban. So, everyone doom scrolls on TikTok. You can be on there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours until you hear the infamous words, do you need water? Do you need sleep? Put your shit up. Put your shit up. Which is crazy, by the way. TikTok is kind of ethical for that because I don't see Twitter telling you to get off your phone. I don't see Instagram telling you to get off your phone. So, TikTok's not all bad. But you could just be like mindlessly scrolling and you can find a new artist. And you can find a music that you like, or you can find a subgenre that you like. The information is so easy to get from TikTok, and it helped you find a lot of artists that you would have never really known. Like I never would have known of a Netspend or a Two Hollis or any of this really without TikTok. And maybe that's me not searching for music, but girl, I was on the forums back in the day. I'm an elder Gen Z. I used to get on like Hot New Hip Hop, pop, like all these websites, and like I used to get on these forums and just go crazy. I used to try to find all this music. So TikTok was just so much easier to do that because you could just click an app and scroll, scroll, scroll. And it was this really weird symbiotic relationship with the artist and the user. The user could use the artist's sound. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to really ask for the artist's permission because the artist has given you permission by publishing it, and you can use it for your video. And maybe that's a song that blows up, and voila, like you have a TikTok that blew up for you, and you could possibly be an influencer. So it's just weird symbiotic relationship where the artist is helping out the consumer because the consumer could also be a creator, which we've really never seen before. Even like on a MySpace is probably the closest thing to that, where people were posting their music and trying to promote it that way. But yeah, since the TikTok ban is happening, let me know in the comments what artists you found on TikTok that you wouldn't have found anywhere else, and let me know how your experience finding music is going to change after this. So I guess one of the big things I've kind of observed with the whole music industry with TikTok is the change in concerts. One, there are big like music festivals already preparing for the TikTok ban, like Rolling Loud, Bonnaroo. They've all came out and said like, we use this as like a main source of advertisement. This is going to really hurt us. So that'll be interesting to see what music festivals look like in the next 2 or 3 years if TikTok gets banned. But with like TikTok music, so we've shown that TikTok music is the sound that gets sent to millions and millions of people. People like that one song, and people want to hear that one song live. So you go to a concert and all the tickets are sold out, and because everyone wants to hear a song, they want to hear the Ice Spice song, or they want to hear this. A very big example of that was Steve Lacy. Steve Lacy had a song, which I don't consider Steve Lacy a TikTok artist because he had a following beforehand, and that song kind of propelled him somewhere. But he had a song, it wasn't Static. I forget the name of the song, but it was on Gemini Rights, and it got sped up, and it was like this trending TikTok. It becomes TikTok song, and Steve Lacy was not having it. He kind of saw that this was just a bunch of people that weren't really his true fans. And for artists that actually want to be artists, I can see how this is very disheartening for you. You have all these people that want to hear you this one song, and there's this funny clip. I'll see if I can find it. But there's this funny clip of Steve Lacy literally being like, "Oh, this is what you all want," and he's like, and then like throws his mic because he just looks into the crowd. It's all people that just want to hear one song. Something bad is about to happen to me. I don't know, but I feel it coming. Might be something I leave, but I just hope. She don't want to leave. Hey, don't you get me out there. All right, good night, you guys. And for someone that is like a creator that has like possibly like a one-hit wonder, like I had this video about Ethel Cain. It went kind of viral on YouTube. It's my best performing video, and I'm like, damn, is this gonna be it? Like, are they gonna just want me to talk about Ethel Cain 24/7? And it gets into your head a little bit. It's like, oh, like, is this attracting the fan base that I want? Like, so I can see why Steve Lacy was really frustrated about it. But yeah, I think prices will probably still be the same. I think what I do think will happen is that you'll be able to buy tickets for like regular price pretty easily now. I don't, with no trending TikTok sound, you don't really have anything to get people to go that aren't already fans of the artist. And I think the dynamics of concerts, when like you go to a concert and it's not just going to be all NPCs, it's going to be people that are like, I've been listening to X artist for 10 years and this I literally made my whole like 4-day trip to come out here and see them. So I think you'll see a lot more fan centric concerts, like die-hard fan centric concerts. And let's talk about up and coming artists. TikTok saw so many people gain a following through TikTok and using sounds and promoting their stuff through TikTok and being cringy and promoting their stuff, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's not gonna happen anymore. You have Reels, and Instagram and Reels music, it's this whole thing. It's very memey. It's like, for people, it's like the only thing that catches on is like really, really bad, ironically bad music that like doesn't make sense at all. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes if they start promoting like artists with like a more genuine fan base. But it seems like with on TikTok, you could just keep putting out stuff, and then something would happen. Like something like people would start using your sound and da da da, and you would just become an artist. And I'm sorry if TikTok is banned, we're not going to see as many up and coming artists anymore. You're going to see the same people within the music industry kind of just put out stuff. There will be up and coming artists, but it will just not be at the same rate as TikTok allowed people to become artists. Like Ice Spice wouldn't be a thing. Tommy Richmond wouldn't be a thing. I mean, there's so many people. Maybe even like a Netspin wouldn't even be a thing because he just like he was memey for a while, but then people started to realize his music was like actually good music. And what I saw a lot with TikTok too was there was people that had like their niche. They were doing one thing, and then all of a sudden they would put out a song and like try to go on this music career. You saw it with Aaliyah's Interlude. You saw it with Harry Daniels. There's a couple other influencers I saw who would be like really successful at doing what they do with like a skit or like their niche, but then be like, here, stream my song, pre-save my song. That will not be a thing anymore. Like, I mean, Aaliyah's Interlude and Harry Daniels will probably put out songs for sure, yeah. But yeah, you're not gonna see like some random influencer be like, guys, I'm gonna start a music career. Like that is not gonna happen anymore. Because also too, people are making songs for TikTok specifically. Like I said, like these people or like mainstream artists like a Drake or like a Kendrick or pop singers like Charlie XCX. Maybe not Charlie XCX, but other pop people were making songs for TikTok. The record label was like, you need to make some kind of catchy short song that people can dance. And it didn't matter about the quality of the song. I'm not gonna lie, "It Girl" by Aaliyah's Interlude, it's catchy. Is it like the best vocal performance ever? Not in the slightest. The song that Harry Daniels put out, is it catchy? Of course. Is it like the best thing ever? Not at all. Should it be being played, X 100,000 at a time? That's up to you. And that was, I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of coming up with more thoughts where I'm like, well, maybe that's like the sign of people just gravitating to what they like. And it's like, oh, if you liked It Girl just because it was a cute, fun little song, maybe that's what like people want now. But yeah, overall, there's gonna be some crazy changes to the music industry. One, you're gonna see less and less up and coming artists. It's gonna be like one every 3 months. It's not gonna be one every month, or like you're gonna have three people at one time blow up. Two, concerts are gonna be forever changed. You're gonna have you're gonna have your diehard fans there. You're gonna be able to buy tickets, I think, a little bit easier for like regular purchase price. And you're gonna see like music change stylistically. You're not gonna see like very dance 2 minute songs anymore. I think we're gonna revert back to like this 3.5 minute song with like a chorus, two verses, a chorus, a bridge. Like you're gonna see more traditional song structure now. And I think fan bases more than ever are gonna be more important. Who are you selling to? You're not just selling to TikTok and the like general population. You're selling to like your fans. Your fans like your music, and you're gonna be like more fan centric rather than let's see if everyone can get on my music. Let me know your thoughts Do you think TikTok is going to change music? Do you think music is going to stay the same? What do you think the possible TikTok ban? Hopefully, it's not banned. What do you think that will do to the music industry? Let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you Thursday for another video, possibly about TikTok again.